Hello everyone, it's Ginger here. Welcome back to another pastel painting, and we are continuing with another meadow. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the small 5" by 5" painting that we did, just creating for the sake of creating with no reference photo. We're going to use that as our reference photo and do a slightly larger version. We are also not using sanded paper today. We are using this, which is a piece of blocking food watercolour paper, which I have given a coat, sorry, I'm a bit croaky, given a coat of white Liquitex white gesso mixed with Daler-Rowney texture paste to a half and half consistency. I've basically slapped it on with a brush and then stippled it to give a really like the last one. I want to start with a really vibrant underpainting, and I'm going to do that with pinks and purples this time, so yeah, just be slightly different. I've got this, which is one of my Unison purples. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and basically I'm going to go, right, should we do that as our, that's our hair, isn't it? So I'm going to, so you can see straight away where the texture is, right. Right, there's the pinky purple cloth. That's quite nice. It's a nice colour. I want something a bit lighter, something difficult. Well, isn't it? It's kind of complicated because I've got a lot of different pinks. And so whether I want to go with this, which is a reddy pink, or whether I want to go for something a bit brighter. I think I need something a bit brighter. More of a blue tone hot pink, like that. Yeah, that's nice. How bright that is. Yeah, right, now I've got pink everywhere. We are going to wash this out just with some water and a paintbrush. Nothing complicated. And we're literally just gonna, oh, that's yeah, that's definitely pink. That is very pink. Very, very, very pink. I love vibrant colours. I love working over the top of vibrant colours. It just adds. Can't get anything like it. And that is our base colour down. Very, very pink. And now I'm going to give that a quick dry with the heat gun, and we will come back to it. Right, now that is dry, we are going to work on the painting. So obviously we've got horizon line here, you can see our darker, slightly darker areas. So we're going to bring those back out. Yeah, let's start with our darks. Dark blue. Yeah, we're going to use a dark blue, I think, rather than a dark green, which is what we did last time. So we have this tree line which we're going to bring along here. Nothing too complicated, just kind of a rough estimation of what we're doing. And then I've got this kind of bush line here, which I quite like, just because it helps lead the eye. So that's there. And then just want to add in some of the dark areas, which is going to lead you in the right direction. Now it's really silly because most people assume that the light areas are going to want to lead your attention, and they are, but in order to make the light areas be the centre of attention, they need to contrast with a darker area next to them. So ideally, when you're looking for areas you want to highlight, it's also where you want to put your darks. Which, yes, I know sounds a bit backwards, but as you've seen from the smaller painting, does actually work. And it's a great way of ensuring that you're getting a balance in your contrast when you're working on your paintings. I know this probably looks more black than blue because of the pink underneath, but trust me, it is a blue. This is a blue earth blue. It's a gorgeous colour. Love this one. So you can see that end. That's the darker. Like that. So that's the direction we're going. Just gonna put this in. The reason being is that because this is not sanded paper, this isn't going to take as many layers, which is good but also bad. So it means we need to keep our layering really loose in this and just try not to put too many layers down, or we'll start to get really muddy blending, which, yeah, won't be good. Especially as the blue earth pastels, they can be moved around, because they're really soft, they can actually be moved around really easily by other pastels on top, so you always have to be really careful because they are great, but if you're not used to handling blue really soft pastels when you're working, then you can very easily make it muddy. So if you're a beginner and you're working on working with pastels, I would definitely recommend more of the medium hardness pastels, so Sennelier, Rembrandt, Schmick, just because they'll be a bit more forgiving really with what you're doing. Now, I want to get in the mountain range at the back before we hit the sky. So yeah, I used a grey blue. I think this is actually the same one that I used. Where is it? It's really hard to tell nowadays, isn't it? I think I used a more blue one. That one, or is that one? This is where it becomes really complicated. Which one? They look very similar, but that one's slightly darker, so it kind of depends on how dark against the sky I want to make them. I don't want to make them too dark. So we'll go with this one, which is a bit lighter. And we just want to the nice thing about having textured paper like this is it doesn't always go where you want it to go, and that's kind of fun. It also makes it a bit more organic as well. So we're just going to go along with that. just going to rub that in a wee bit. That will help when we put our next colour on top. Okay, so start our mountains. Kind of neutral brown. I'm join it. Now this is a harder pastel. This is one of my Rembrandts. I know a lot of people knock Rembrandt, but actually, you know what? Their pastels have a place, and if you know how to use the difference between your softs and your hard pastels, then actually you'll find that they are a very, very versatile mid softness pastel. So they can be used as a hard pastel if you're using really, really soft pastels, or they can be used as a soft pastel when you're using really hard pastels. They have that versatility depending on how hard you push them into the grain and how many layers you want. They are difficult to get layers from just because of the type, because of the soft and hardness, but actually once you get used to them, see what I mean? They're fine. Don't know why, but when I do this, it never looks like a mountain range until really late on in the painting, where I get to step back having done the grass area, and then suddenly it's like, oh, now I've got mountains. It's very weird. Right. Let us do the sky, because I really want to do the sky. A bit more of a softer blue on this sky, so. I'm going to go with my darker blue top. So this is a warmer blue, so not quite a violet blue, but it is definitely has violet in it. And then this one, which is very, very pale white blue. Also a very soft pastel, so it's kind of crumbling an awful lot when it meets the texture of the paper, but that's fine, it's not an issue. Right, let's rub those in together. Start with lightest colour at the bottom and work up. Otherwise you'll bring too much of dark down. So soften the edge of this mountain. A bit more of a hazy effect then. Quite a nice colour actually, combination of those two. I'm going to add some more of the white, the whitey blue. I don't want to lose too much. That's a bit better. See this lovely stippling texture coming through. Isn't it lovely? Yeah. Right, so sky, mountains, kind of a tree line, which we will amend as we work. We've got that dark down, so now we're going to start getting on with our grasses. We'll start with another dark, and then I really want to put our lights in. Too dark. Yeah, that. This is a gorgeous colour. Yeah, that's better. Right. When you put green down, and suddenly it goes from being this weird, hyper violet coloured thing to suddenly going, oh, hang on a minute, it looks like a field. Oh, fancy that. And then that continues. Rubbing this out and spreading it out a wee bit. Quite a few colours to go on yet, so I'm not too worried. I just don't want the greens muddying everything too much. Right, that's a beautiful green. We love that green. Right, now we have our yellows, which is our most vibrant colours. So here is our yellow. And our block here, we've got our brightest section. And we've got another bright section here. We've also got a little bit here which is complementary. Just, you don't want to have everything on one side, that's fairly unrealistic when it comes to fields and flowers, I'm afraid. Right. So there's our bright yellow. Now we want our golds underneath. So we don't. Is that too? I'm going to come back to that one. That's a little too light at the moment. What we want is this one, which is more of a, this ain't neutral, which it is. Right, so you can kind of see all the colours are slowly coming together. The sky, for some odd reason, is really annoying me. I actually don't know why, but it is. I think it's It's just too much. Not enough of the light colour, so I'm just going to add some more of this back in. Don't want to rub with yellow fingers because I'll get such an interesting colour. Yeah, that's a bit better. Right. Now, back to this field. Orangey red. Oh, this maybe? Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a nice colour. This is a kind of mid-tone. So it's dark, but not as dark as our darks, if you know what I mean. I'm just making some little marks. I don't want this, I don't want it completely flat. So there's our ready orange. I'm going to go back in with that ochre that we saw earlier, just because it's a lighter colour. I just want to bring some of these warmer yellow tones in over the top of this. Beautiful orange red, this brick red that we just put in. Just to highlight certain areas as we go down. So it's not as light as this, because that's where we want the eye to go. Now, I want a paler, lighter colour. It needs to be green. This might do. Maybe this will do. Just bring a bit more of the green back in. We don't lose it completely. bit more of this yellow back in. Obviously we've gone over a fair bit of it, so we tend to lose the colour once we start doing that. Just want to make sure that our highlight areas where that is definitely highlighted. That's a bit better. I don't like that. I don't like where that stops. That's a bit better. Now I want to touch up our darks and our tree line up here. I want to bring a green in. Oh, the choice. Oh, the choices. What's this? Oh yeah, that'll do. This is a kind of blue tone green. It's just to add in another value to this tree line at the back, and just bring it out a little bit and give it a little bit more dimension. Because the problem is that you leave these things to it, what you end up with is it being very flat. And yes, it is supposed to be far away, but at the same time, you don't want it looking so out of place. And I do want a darker, this kind of colour green as well, which is a yellowy green, and that's because I don't want to make it too blue, but I also do want more than two tones to it. So I also want to use it to bring back this little hedge thing that we've got going on here. Reinforce our darks a wee bit. Okay, starting to look like how I want it to look. I think now we need to bring in our flowers, I think. So first thing to do is obviously, when you've got flowers in a field, the flowers in the distance, so this far distance part of the field, won't look like individual flowers. They'll just look like clumps like this. So you'll get splodges of colour. Usually, because of the way the fields run, they'll look like they're in lines going across the field like that. Obviously, the closer you get, the more you'll start to see individual flowers. So that's what we're gonna start doing. Right at the edges of these blocks of colour, is we'll start teasing these out and just making these into flowers. And flowers tend to be little groups. They grow in little social groups, as I refer to them sometimes. So you want to let it skip and jump around. You don't want to make this too uniform. Just want to add where you think you need. And not too many. Don't go overboard. You don't need to go overboard. Look where you've got your dark sections and use that to play against the colour. Look how much more vibrant the yellow flowers look when placed closer to the dark areas. As soon as you put one in a dark area, it suddenly becomes very, very, very rich. Take this off the side here so that it's not just floating. Right, so there's our yellow, and then I do want a lighter colour just to offset it. Now, last time what we did was we added a really beautiful pop of colour with an unusual tone. Now, we did a pinky orange last time, and that's because it matched the underpainting. So what I think we should do with this one is the same, is that we put in a beautiful pink colour to match the undertone, so our underpainting. So we're going to add just little pops of this pink. See how pretty that is? Doesn't take much, just a few dots here and there, just a few little marks. Right, I think that's enough on that one because I don't want to go too overboard. I like the pops of pink, which could really match the underpainting. I do want a whiter colour. I'm not quite happy with this white yellow. It's just not quite light enough. Quite light, so I have this, which should be. Yeah. That's a bit brighter. Just lead it in. Yeah, the lighter colour there's a lot better now. Just want to bit more loose on the mark. That's better. Yeah, much better. Right. We will write our name on it. Not very clear, but it's there. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. A bigger version of our smaller one. And I hope you guys can join us again soon. So, enjoy your weekend and ta-ta for now.